Hey guys, D-Blair. Today I got a look at the Farragut running in ranked. Here I got Bill Halsey on the screen. You can see I got double concealment for this tournament. Bay 16, Swirsky level 11. So not quite max concealment for this, but much more than I typically run. Typically I run Bay and either Gurren to increase the AP pen or some other more offensive-minded commanders usually. For the Farragut, for the USN destroyers, I try and maximize the gun performance typically. So I've only played maybe 4 or 5 games of rank so far. Running about 500 in my results, so that's not what I was looking for out of the gate, and I just decided to quit playing. And that's kind of a strategy for rank that you need to employ due to the fact that you can go backwards. And, you know, if you get into, 500 isn't probably what a lot of people would consider a losing streak, but for low end rank for me, that's not what I was looking for. So I thought I'd just put it on hold for a day, try it again. First couple games I played Battleships and opening salvo in both of them, one shot an enemy cruiser. And that deletes 1 out of 7. That's roughly, I don't know. It's a good chunk of their team though, if you can do that. And I think Battleships shooting at cruisers are important. Battleships, I've noticed, if they get out of position onto the wings, then that team tends to lose. Battleships, you need to get centrally located and stay there so you can shoot as many targets as possible. And we'll probably cover Battleships more as the week goes on. Looking at this Farragut, though, from what I've seen so far, it looks pretty strong as I was predicting. Here was my game that I played in it so far. What are the objectives? We need to find and kill destroyers. We need to capture objectives. That's what we're trying to do here. Anything else is superfluous, potentially distracting, and potentially just to be considered like a bonus. Here we do spot the Acosta right off the bat. I'm not afraid of the Acosta. I can get the crap out of the Acosta. I'm afraid of those support ships to the left that are not currently on the screen. Immediately smoke up, and we're going to try and kill the Acosta here as quick as possible. We do have a little bit of support fire, it looks like, but you can see the guns cycling through here. Absolutely kick the crap out of that ship. It doesn't have sonar, so it doesn't have the opportunity to bing bong attack this. Use the sonar smoke combo, and that puts it at a distinct disadvantage with the Farragut, who has very wicked firepower for tier 4. Omaha's pushing in. I needed to decide should I bail or not. I hit him in the Citadel 3-4 times. That turned him around. And a lot of times ships, once they start taking pretty aggressive damage, their screen starts, flashing and the heartbeat thing goes off. That's stressful for people. It's designed to be stressful, and a lot of times they'll kind of just get out of that situation like this guy did. Now I'm going to continue to take shots on him. We're waiting for the torps to reload. We want to get this Omaha dead if possible, though. Ranked it's important to remove guns in all game modes. Ranked, it's extremely important. You don't want any ships left with 1 HP left still dealing damage. Games are won and lost by keeping people alive like that. So I'm going to try and whittle him down, but once these torps get loaded, we're going to try and hit this, I believe it's an Iron Duke to the right here. Now he's pushing in. Destroyers being pushed while they're in smoke, they have the advantage until they stop having the advantage. Then they almost certainly die. And so I'm trying to, in my mind, practice on disengaging more and more earlier. So essentially you need to know the auto detect ranges. Iron Duke has 2 kilometers. Tier 6 and 7 battleships you have to assume have 3 kilometers due to that mod that goes into slot 3. But behind that you also have a smoke that's about to disappear. Now I got about 30 seconds left on this one or whatever. But if the smoke is removed from the board and the guy is in your blue detection radius, in this case with this setup 5.4 kilometers, then you're going to be detected as soon as the smoke's gone, and you're going to be auto detected for a long time where you can't escape by not shooting because you let that ship get in so close. So at this point this is essentially becoming a mistake. He's right at the edge of that detection range, and I need to get out of there as quick as possible. You see, as soon as that smoke's gone, we are spotted, and we are spotted kind of permanently. Secondary is going off, and the Iron Duke, a lot of players are going to be playing the Iron Duke with HE loaded a high percentage of the time. HE shots from battleships into destroyers close range, existential threat, very dangerous. So a bit of a mistake there, needed to disengage quicker. Now, throughout this engagement with the Iron Duke, you have seen and will continue to see me switch into AP. USN destroyers usually, when you can get battleships close range like this that are broadside to you, you can just pelt them with the AP into the superstructure, melt them down. You can get, 3K salvos every 3-4 seconds, whatever your reload is. And that's the biggest threat, really, aside from torps to battleships. I mean, you can wear them down very quickly, and they don't really realize how dangerous the destroyers are. But because we're having some penetration issues, that's not really happening. Gurren, who everyone who completes the Gremiashi campaign, he will help. I have run him. I only have him level 9, so I don't use him as much as I want to. I'm planning on leveling him up in the near-term future. But I've run Gurren as an inspiration on USN destroyers, German destroyers. The difference is noticeable. It's very hard to quantify because you can't scientifically test things like this, because you can't repeat the same exact shot with an AP penetration modifier on and the same exact shot without that setup. So you kind of have to rely on anecdotal kind of evidence in your mind. But for me, it seems effective. So once you guys get that commander, I would try him out. I think the AP penetration commanders in general are all very powerful. Jojo, Yamamoto, and Gurren. But again, it's just very hard to kind of quantify mentally the results. So here we clear off C, we get the battleship out of there. So we've killed the destroyers, we've captured the objective. Those are our main goals over here. Now we need to evaluate the game and figure out what to do. Now I have 3 people on my team left. They're all bunched up into a very tight little ball on the far side of an island that's kind of putting them out of position. I can't fault them too bad, though. They do have 2 ships over there that they are engaging with. But that leaves me isolated over here. Now we do have this point being recaptured. It was guaranteed to be a cruiser, which made me nervous. Luckily, this Omaha is low health, so that's going to give us a chance to duel him. Now, I popped the smoke. I was hoping to get 2 volleys off on him before he disappeared. Once he fires, though, his smoke firing penalty kicks in. He must be right at the edge of that, and he's, again, visible on the screen here. Now we're able to get some more shots. Drops detection again, but we get some more hits. Get the torps in the water, and at this point, I'm thinking he's got to be probably a one-shot, so if I'm going to intend to poke through this front of the smoke cloud here, spot him, kill him, but he does pop back in. And you can see he was indeed basically a one-shot. We kill him there. Now, evaluating this map, this other cruiser was last seen heading this way. And at this point, we're trying to win the game. We're not, oh, I'm going to get damage. Oh, I'm going to get a Kraken. This is fucking rank. Stop screwing around. We have 2 points. We have the point advantage. We have ship advantage. Why do I need to push a cruiser that can kick the crap out of me? So, play smart here. Recognize your win conditions at all time. Play to those win conditions. We get the hell away from the cruiser. That's the only goal. We do not need to kill the cruiser to win the game. So we get the heck out of here. We're putting that huge island in between us. We are under the belief currently that he's pushing very close to us. Again, we couldn't see him because of that smoke block. But until he pops up on the map right there, I'm under the assumption he's 2 feet away from me on my tail. So we got out of there as quick as we could. And once we identify that he's no longer a threat, he's on C. That's not probably going to end the game. Now, the point system, I'm not 100% sure how quick they accrue here. I don't want them to have 2 points, to R1 at any point, because we do have a fair amount of time on the time left. Our team, though, is flipping A. And we can go ahead and flip them back and forth. And because the 2 people on my team are battleships versus a cruiser, I don't want to rely on my teammates in ranked at all because they will infuriate me and cause all sorts of consternation. But odds are 2 battleships should be able to take out a one-shot cruiser. So at this point, I'm feeling all right. But I encourage you, especially towards the end of the game, you need to really evaluate what do we need to win the game from right now and then do that thing. Rushing the enemy team when you're up is basically almost always not the win condition at that moment. So keep that in mind. That's going to do it for this one, though. If you did like it, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. A lot of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.